Welcome to Campus Chat, a look at the people, the opportunities, programs, and happenings at Western Nevada College. Campus Chat is made possible by the Western Nevada College Foundation.
So our first two segments are going to focus on, it'll be if it wants to grow anything. Clarify that. Not anything. So if you're looking at a backyard garden or sustainable farming or landscaping or you're interested in healthy organic eating, I think this is the show for you. And my guests today are Buzz Scharman. Buzz is the Dean of the Fallon Campus and Rural Development, and Buzz has been a guest on this show many times. Welcome, Buzz.
Thank you. Thank you, Holly.
Yeah, nice to have you here. And then our next guest is Louhela.
That was good.
That was good. And she's the project coordinator for the Specialty Crop Institute and also a board member of Nevada Grown. So nice having you here.
Ben, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you bet. So tell me a little bit about Nevada Grown.
Nevada Grown is a farmers association. It was started in 2002, and it's a nonprofit organization. And its basic purposes, there's two of them. Its members are mostly small farms, and it looks at promoting small farms and also finding sources of revenue for small farms to sell their products, which is one of the problems with small farms having right now is direct marketing and actually finding places that will buy their product because they're
because of the economy and stuff. What qualifies as a small farm? Like 1 acre?
You know, a small farm can be hundreds of acres. I mean, a half acre, or it can be hundreds of acres. But
your backyard, Helene.
That's okay.
That would be
totally getting to that later on.
That'll be a micro farm.
We will deviate from these questions and talk specifically about my place. Okay.
Okay.
No, not really.
And we'll have you signed up for the class.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to. I want to do lavender. And I'm out by Campy's lavender patch. They do a lot of lavender growing out in Stagecoach.
I have their lavender growing in my front yard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're already right there. Okay. So how did you get involved with Buzz and the Fallon campus? Tell me about that.
Well, it started a few years ago. In 2002, I was hired to become, I was market manager for the Sparks Thursday Night Farmers Market, which is the biggest farmers market in the state. And I'm an event manager by trade. I do special events, and that was when I first started working with farmers and getting to know them. And anybody that knows and works with farmers, they're wonderful people. And you just, so I started connecting with them. And one thing I found out is that when farmers market season ended, small farms had nowhere to sell what they were growing. You know, literally they had a very short season and limited people buying their stuff. And I just got involved in it from then, just looking at, you know, where my food dollar was going and who I was buying from, and realizing that the farmers in my own backyard were going out of business because I was buying food from thousands of miles away.
Right.
So that's how I got involved.
So the Specialty Crop Institute, I mean, what is that actually then? Is that Buzz, do you want to answer that? Department of Agriculture, or
I'm going to give him the tough question.
Yeah.
The Specialty Crop Institute is it's a training ground for people who are interested in making the transition to large crops that might be crops that take a lot of water, and make the transition to crops that are not so needy of water but also have a good production, and also they're profitable. And what we're trying to do is educate people on how they can make that transition. And really what our goal is to offer a number of different workshops and seminars, a lot of hands-on training on how to make the transition over to these other crops.
So if you're a big alfalfa grower out in Fallon, you're going to be going to grapes or something like that.
Right.
And how is it funded?
It's funded through the Department of Agriculture. And the way it really came about was some of the local farmers in Churchill County have known my interest. I grew up on a dairy farm, and they've known my interest for a long time of trying to get more into the agricultural center of our area and to try to do some things. And we've tried some things over the years with ag mechanics and some different things. But particularly Rick Latin of Latin Farms brought the proposal to me that the Department of Agriculture was interested in grants that would help educate and train people in specialty crops. So we wrote one, they liked it, they asked us to write another one for additional funding, and that's happened 4 times now.
Wow.
To where we've been able to hire Ann to be our director and to put on some pretty nice seminars.
Oh yeah, that's great. So Fallon is a perfect fit.
It is, but it's not limited by walls. For example, the one that's coming up next, the Cut Flowers seminar, will actually be here at the Carson campus, and we'll be doing one later on in the spring, or actually next fall in Yerington, where we're going to introduce specialty market to the Yerington Mason Valley area and some things there. So, although Fallon is the central location, we're not limited. We will go where we need to go to offer the workshop.
What qualifies as a specialty?
You know, I guess you can kind of say, and I'm not a farmer, this is kind of probably the layman's thing and what I've learned. I kind of compare commodity crops, which are alfalfa, corn, in large crops that are going to be wholesaled in, commodities, as compared to a specialty crop, which a lot of times is going to be a direct marketed crop. Anything from cut flowers, organics are a specialty crop simply because they're grown differently. Produce, farmers market produce, specialty produce. Teff is a new specialty crop. Grapes for teff is it's a grain and it's used a lot by the Mideast culture for breads and stuff. I'm not real familiar with it, but there's some studies going on and there's a market for teff. So those are specialty crops. They're not your conventional
like lavender, rosemary, those types of herbs.
Exactly, herbs. Some of the nursery products. Those are
Now we talked about farming a little bit. Alfalfa and et cetera. But what's sustainable farming? What does that term refer to?
You got to go with that one, Ann. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Well, and I think sustainable is kind of a new buzzword for a lot of things, but in farming, we look at sustainable as two things: economically sustainable and also environmentally. Of course, we love organic farming, and organic farming is not new. Conventional farming has only been around 50 years, and organic farming was around 1,000 years. But sustainable is so you want it to be environmentally friendly, but also financially feasible, and sustaining your farm financially so that you can make money on it.
Right. So what makes organic is a huge buzzword too, and that could be, define organic.
Right. And so what is it?
Yeah.
You can get certified organic, and if it's been certified organic, it'll have a label or there'll be a sign at the farmer's market. And there are farmers who use organic growing practices. They may not be certified organic, but they're using some or all of the practices. So if you look for the sign, then you know you are buying the true organic practice.
The seal.
Certified organic. Yeah.
Who authorizes that seal?
I believe it comes from the federal government, but state, and there are federal guidelines. But then state organizations, our Nevada Department of Agriculture does organic certification.
Have you been to that certified organic farm in Stagecoach? Have you heard about that? It does produce?
I've been to several organic farms, and I don't know that I've been to the one. There's a few in Stagecoach.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
A couple.
Churchill Butte. Yeah, there's a lot of.
It's pretty amazing.
A lot of small farms.
Big hoop houses, stuff like that. It's phenomenal. It's really a hidden treasure. And I don't think we have time for this, so we're going to take a break, okay, Dave? And we'll be right back. Stay with us for the next segment of Campus Chat. Welcome back to Campus Chat. My name is Helene Jesse. I'm here with Buzz Scharman, Dean of the Fallon Campus, and Ann Louhela, the project coordinator for the Specialty Crop Institute. And so we were talking about organics. So last month, you had a speaker, Dr. Elaine Ingham, and she was a renowned soil expert. Tell us a little bit about what she talked about.
Okay.
This is the types of things that the Institute offers.
Right. The workshop itself was on transitioning to organic farming if you're a conventional farmer. And so she came in on Saturday and did hers was on soil. It was an 8-hour seminar, it was amazing. We had almost 100 people there to talk about, dirt, but it was soil, but just absolutely, she just could engage the audience and just fascinating the seminar, everything from home gardeners to farmers with a few hundred acres who can apply her theories.
Right. Do you work with cooperative extension at all, Buzz, with this?
We do. We have a lot of partners, whether it's cooperative extension, also the Department of Agriculture, Nevada Homegrown, a lot of partners, plus the Institute has become very regional. It's not just Fallon or just Churchill County or even in our WNC service area. We're finding that we're getting people from Bishop, California, Sacramento, Lake Tahoe.
Wow.
We even had visitors at this last conference from Twin Falls, Idaho, things like that. So the word is getting out through our website and just through word of mouth that we have some good.
Yeah, I think I know. I'm
going on.
really interested in how I can turn my small few acres into something that could be profitable and sustainable for myself, whether it be produce just for myself or a product. So I think it's fabulous.
Well, what was good about this last workshop is that we were able to get people out. On Friday, not only were they in workshops in the morning talking about the transition to organic farming, but they actually made a visit to the Latin Farms and also to Bill Mewalt's organic farm in Fallon, and they were actually able to get their hands dirty and really
cool.
see what it means to grow tomatoes organically and things like that. And so it was, and then when they were able to come back Saturday to the discussion on soils and such, it meant a little bit more to them, and they could. I mean, they had their hands in it the day before.
That's great. So you have April 24th and 25th. You have a workshop coming up on cut flowers.
Yes, and that'll be the same thing. That's a huge part of what our program is. It'll be a one-day workshop in a classroom, and then we're also going to be going out to Smith & Smith Farms in Dayton. They've done cut flowers for several years, just absolutely gorgeous place. So, I think the Institute has three things. We do classroom training. We bring in regional experts. We go onto the farms, which is just huge to farmers. They can ask questions. They can see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And also the networking between your experienced farmer that's been doing it for 20 years and the new farmer coming in. And, I mean, even for the experienced farmer, you learn by teaching, and you can always learn something new. So,
how much are these workshops?
We usually run about $50 for the entry fee. For the registration. And that includes lunch and
$50.
Mm-hmm.
For a 2-day workshop.
And then they call you, Buzz or Ann?
Yeah, they call us at 423-7565, and we get them registered.
Viticulture?
It'll actually be the second time that we've done this one. Only this one we're going to get them right out on the farm. We actually held a wine and grape growing seminar back in November that we had over 80 people attend, and after looking at those evaluations, we saw that people wanted to get right out on the farm and get a feel for, especially pruning the grapevines and some things like that. So we're going to use Charlie Frey's Ranch to do that.
So you can be a complete novice and really benefit from this, or you can be somewhat of an expert and still get some great information.
Yeah. I think for the complete novice, this is wonderful because you learn how to do it right from the beginning. You save yourself a lot of having to do it again.
Yeah, I'm surprised. There's cut flowers. There's a real market for that, huh? There's
a huge market. People that do cut flowers anywhere, I travel to a lot of conferences and stuff. Cut flowers is actually one of the best specialty crops to grow income-wise. There's such a demand for it, and there's never enough cut flower growers.
Wow, that's fascinating, isn't it?
Well, the thing too about the industry, the farmers around this area are trying to grow the industry. There really is a market for people to get into it and work with these established farmers to get into the cycle. There's the basket industry, over 300 basket customers throughout the Reno, Sparks, Carson City, Lake Tahoe area, and that's a growing industry, and we need to be able to find people who can produce the things to fill those baskets every week. And there really is a market.
That's really great.
Restaurants, we've got more restaurants asking for local food every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. On a personal note, we talked about the organic food market. How can you really be assured that a product is really organic?
I think the label is the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got organic certification, they do go out and inspect them once a year. They keep lots of records. They're required by law to keep records of it. So
it starts from the whole growing process, right? The type of compost you use, no pesticides.
Sometimes they use pesticides or herbicides, but they're approved. So they're not going to be, they're only allowed to have certain ingredients, and also before you can become certified organic, your soil you have to wait 3 years. If you were farming conventionally, your soil has to sit for 3 years with nothing put on it before you can before you can be certified.
So is it a huge investment to start off in a specialty crop? I mean, let's say for me with lavender, I want to start growing lavender. How big of an investment am I going to have to make?
That would probably be the question for the farmer. But for the most part, and I was just asking Rick Latin that the other day about the investment for farming, and he said, land is probably the biggest investment for farming. So if you have the land, the equipment itself is not a huge investment.
Yeah, because you can use drip irrigation, use low water. I imagine that there's all kinds of...
But Smith Farms in Dayton, which produces a lot for the specialty crop industry around here, they're only 10 acres.
That's true.
So
that's phenomenal.
I think the new thing, what I look at kind of the farm of the future is the urban farm where you will see smaller acreages, and it's amazing. It's probably like the farm you're talking about in Stagecoach. The amount of food or the amount of money you can make off a half acre even. And I've seen people earn a living on an acre of land using hoop houses like you were talking about, which we'll be doing a workshop on hoop houses.
When will that be?
This fall.
This fall?
Yeah,
that's
going to be a really popular one.
Forward to that. And so let's tell us again about the 2 workshops coming up that people can sign up for, Buzz.
Well, we're talking the Cut Flowers workshop, which will be April
24th and 25th.
24th and 25th, Friday, Saturday. And then in May, we're coming back with another workshop on grape growing. The Cut Flowers one will actually be in Carson City, and grape growing will be back out in Fallon.
So at Carson City at Smith & Smith or up here at the college?
The first day it's here at the college on Friday, and then they'll go out to Smith & Smith on Saturday. And
so you can get information about the Specialty Crop Institute online at www.wnc.edu/SCI. And then information about where to buy local food is
NevadaGrown.com.
NevadaGrown.com
is the best. We have information, everything from farmers markets to restaurants to the baskets he was talking about, the community supported agriculture.
I'd like to give you some stuff to fill up those baskets.
Or they can call me if they have questions. I love to talk about.
And your phone number?
It's 775-351-2551.
Also, these websites are connected, so they can catch.
That's great. Really a fascinating topic. I'm really pleased to see the work you've done, Buzz, out in Fallon and the outreach for farmers and people who want to make their land work for them. I think it's a huge. I think it's just the tip of the iceberg.
I think it is.
You're seeing so much interest, and Ann, really a pleasure to talk to you and to have you working with us. And
it's an exciting project to be working on. I never thought I'd be excited about seeing an 8-hour seminar on quote dirt, but it was. I just loved it, and I was so excited all the way up to it. So.
I love dirt too. I love dirt.
I'm big into that.
So, if you want to grow almost anything, mind you, almost anything, these are the people to talk to. Stay with us. We'll be right back with our next segment of Campus Chat. Welcome back to Campus Chat. This is our final segment today, and my name's Helene Jesse, and again, we're talking about Churchill County. Welcome Nick Serrano, Branch Manager of Greater Nevada Mortgage Services. How are you? Sales Manager, right there, Sales Manager.
You can call me whatever you want, Helene.
Yeah, okay. And then Buzz is still with us, and we're talking about an event that Nick founded in 2007, and it's a golf tournament to benefit high school graduates of Churchill County. And since 2007, you've awarded $4,000 worth of scholarships, which is just huge. And it's for students attending WNC, of course.
Yeah, when we opened an office in Fallon, we wanted to find a way to serve the community that we moved into. It's part of a credit union philosophy, and we'd always had a partnership with Western Nevada College, so it seemed natural that we extend that into the Fallon area. And what we did was I went and visited with the dean over here and asked him, what can we help with? And he said, we really want to help our Churchill County High School students who stay in Fallon and continue their education. I said, fine, that's perfect. Let's have a golf tournament, raise some money specifically for Churchill County High School graduates to attend their local campus there in Fallon and WNC.
That's phenomenal, and it's a great campus, great place to go to school. So that's how it all started.
Yeah, pretty simple. I guess most things are. We just wanted to find a way to give back, and it was a natural fit with WNC.
So why does the credit union do that? Why do you think that's important, forming that bond?
Well, I think credit unions, because they're owned by the members and they're completely community-based, it's natural that they work very hard with community service. And so no matter what community we're in, and we happen to be talking about Fallon today, we try to find ways to service the community. We have to invest in our younger people. Hopefully someday that those students can be great employees for us or for anybody else in Nevada and learn to grow our community from within.
Yeah, okay, that's a great answer. So scholarship donors can be really specific, when setting up the criteria for a scholarship. And Buzz is the new chair of the scholarship committee for Western Nevada College. It's a huge job because we give out, literally thousands of dollars worth of scholarships each year. How is that? How are you liking that new role in addition to everything else you do?
I like this. Well, first of all, I've got some great people who have been working on scholarships for a lot of years, it's Sandy Richmond and Kim Coker and Lori Teedy and Leslie. And so it's been great because they've already been in the system and I just sit back and let them work and then I take all the glory.
Exactly.
No, really.
Wait, that's my job.
A lot of scholarships. It's been great.
Yeah, Sandy Richmond does all the work for Campus Chat, and I just sit here and make it look, well, I don't know what I make it look like, but I think I make it look easy. But Sandy does all the work, so I really identify with that, Buzz. So when is this year's golf tournament?
May 16th.
And where?
It's at the Fallon Golf Club. 9-hole golf course, but we play 18 holes. And last year we had about 40 who golfed, and this year we'd like to grow it a little bit. There's plenty of room out there. We have a lot of fun.
It's a great course. A lot of trees. Lots of trees.
A lot of trees, a little bit of water.
That's great. So what time does it start?
Shotgun start, 9 o'clock, I think is what we got, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a morning shotgun. People start to trickle in around 8 so we can do registration and warm up. And then, we'll get off somewhere between 8:30 and 9. And it's a very casual event. And, it's meant for the kids of Churchill County, nothing more than that. And we look forward to another great participation through golfers and sponsorships from the community.
It's a reasonable price, isn't it? It's really inexpensive to golf.
Yeah, it's $50 and you get the 18 holes. You get lunch. There's awards. There's raffles. But most important part of that is what you're giving your money to. Right. $50 isn't much for a charitable contribution, even in these times.
So what if you're not a golfer? How can you participate?
Well, there's a lot of sponsorship opportunities, so for local communities that we have hole sponsorships where, they can sponsor the hole and they're welcome to come out that day and sit at the hole and meet and greet everyone that comes through and network. And
that's $50 too, right?
Yeah, that's only $50 as well. It's a pretty easy way to get your name in front of several people and meet them intimately and let them know about what's going on with your business in Churchill County.
You already know where I'm going with this, right? I'd like to sponsor a hole and sell lavender or pass out little lavender gifts as they go by. And a cart. Oh, that's huge.
See, that's linked with the last segment.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing how that works, and it just happened.
People can also but people can also donate for the raffle because we'll be having a raffle and doing some things like that. So it's a good day.
It is a good day. So do they call you, Nick, to sign up for sponsorship, or do you want them to call Buzz?
It's probably best to contact the campus in Fallon directly. Buzz has wonderful people working for him there, and he has their information.
It's the same contact number we had for the Specialty Crop Institute. It's 423-7565, and that's where we call for to enter a team of 4 or individuals. We'll put you on a team, or if they want to sponsor a hole or longest drive or if they want to contribute for a raffle. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great. And this is open to anybody who's watching the show. You don't have to be from Fallon to enter into this golf tournament. In fact, Nick lives in Carson, works in Reno.
And wins the tournament every year.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest about why we have this tournament, shall we? It's so Nick can win and hit the longest drive. He can hit the ball.
He's good.
So May 16th, 9 o'clock, call Buzz.
8 o'clock, get them in there, and so we can get shotgun start between 8:30 and 9.
I mean, barbecue, raffle. I mean, what a great deal, and for $50.
And a great cause.
And a great cause. Yeah, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Before we quit, we have a message out there for Kirk, who I always see at the Smiths in Dayton. Now, Kirk, I think I was telling you about this, actually watches the whole show. And so in May, we're going to have a show for fans of Campus Chat. So there's room for 2 or 3 people. And so I know if Kirk is watching, Kirk, call Sandy Richmond at 445-4410. We're going to have you on the show with another gal, Pat Holt, Joan Policio, and Adam Whitney. It's going to be 5 of us. So it's going to be a fun show. So thanks so much, Nick, for coming in.
Absolutely.
And for really having the idea for this great tournament and great cause.
Well, we look forward to it every year, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I actually plan on being there this year.
Great.
At a hole, selling stuff. Not selling stuff, giving it away.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
And thank you, Buzz, for Specialty Crop Institute and the golf tournament.
Great.
Nice having you here.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching this edition of Campus Chat. We'll see you next month.
This has been Campus Chat, a monthly program from Western Nevada College. Campus Chat is made possible by the Western Nevada College Foundation.